Hey, this is Rick from Hiking and Merchant Beacon, and today I'm out here testing two of my favorite, actually they are both my favorite satellite messengers. This is the Garmin inReach Mini right here, and the orange, and the black one is the Garmin inReach Mini 2, and I'm going to tell you a whole lot more about them today and compare them to each other. But before we do that, please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. So this week, Chris on the YouTube channel, he asked me a question about, I think, the GPS map 66i, and we were talking about, he was asking me a question, and I think subtly he hinted. He said, what about, doing a comparison between the Mini and Mini 2? And I'm not sure why I haven't done it, because like I said at the intro of this video, that this Mini 2 has been my favorite for a long time. And then the Mini. And the Mini 2 now is my favorite. So I'm going to go through the reasons why they are my favorite, and then I'll talk to you about the differences, and then we'll do some actual video of tracking and see how it really looks on screen. So let's just talk about the specs real quick, or the differences from the website. So the differences are, so right away, the Earthmate app was the app that was used for the Mini. Now there's an Explorer app, so the app is different. There's a battery life. I'm just going to tell you things as I think of them. I was doing some research on it, just trying to make sure I understood, make sure I knew the differences between all of them. So the battery life is maybe 2 to 3 times longer on the Mini 2. Now I'll put some information up on the screen so you can see, because when you're in one tracking mode, it gets looks like 2-3 times longer. In a different one, it's maybe 1.5 times longer, but I'll show you that information on the screen. Other things that I really like about the Mini 2, how they've upgraded it, it's the same size, and size is one of the things that hasn't changed. The tracking, so if you're tracking, they both have trackback. But when you're doing a trackback or you're tracking on a route, it shows up on the screen. You'll see the route, you'll see, it's not like you're going to see a map, but you'll see the lines, you'll see a route, you'll see an arrow, and it gives you information. Whereas on the Mini, it gives you some information, but not enough. Again, I'll show you that a little bit later as I'm testing it. The next thing I really like is when you're tracking out or on trackback, especially on trackback, when you're on trackback, when you're navigating back, it will show you where you're at on the trail, show you how far you're off the trail. And if you're very far off the trail, it will give you a visual and an audible alert that you're off the trail. And then if you turn around and you start heading back, it'll then show you're on course. I think it says off course and on course. So I really like that a lot. When you track back with the Mini, you get the arrow showing you where the course is, but you didn't get a visual or an audible alert that you were off course or on course. I really like that a lot. There's a digital compass on the Mini 2. I believe there's a compass on the Mini, and we'll look at that in a minute. But maybe it's not a digital compass. So those are the main things. And I'm going to put a list on the screen, so if I've missed anything here, you'll see it. All right, so before I get into the actual test where I'm walking with these side by side and showing you the differences, let's just kind of look at some of the things that are my favorites about these. One, they are both the same size. You can see how small they are. It looks a little bit wider on the back because there's attachments for the backpack tether. I have 2 backpack tethers, and I would really recommend these tethers because there's Velcro on both. They attach real easy. They're out of your way. It's a great place to put them because one thing is that when you want the antennas pointing up in the air, and then you want them out of the way so that you're not hitting them or they're rubbing against them. So these fit, for me, I really like where these sit. So there's some other satellite messengers like the Garmin Explorer, which I have, and the GPS map, and they have more things that are available. They have on-screen maps. They've got built-in altimeter, accelerometers, things like that, and so they're really powerful, but they're also big. These, well, the nice thing about the GPS map 66i and the Explorer plus is that they're standalone devices. You can sync them to your phone, but you don't have to. On these, you can use these as standalone devices. You can two-way message with them. There's all kinds of things you can do with them, but you can't get maps, and it's harder to type messages. There's all kinds of things that are a little more challenging without syncing to your phone. But when you sync to your phone, I mean, I don't even touch these silent messengers. They just sit there. Now, once in a while, I'll check them out, but I don't look at them very much. But what I do is I'll pull my phone out, and then the app is right here on the home screen page, and then I will I'll just look at my phone, I'll look at the map, and do everything from right here. And so, like the two-way messaging when you have your phone out is so much easier because you just type on your screen, and it's really simple. On these devices, both of them, you'd have to arrow around. It's a lot more complicated, or takes a lot more time. Well, that's what I like about them. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do some short hikes just in this area, in this meadow. I'm going to show you what both of these are like with both of them in my hand, and so you'll see the differences on the screen as I'm testing them. So I'll come back here in a minute after I test them, and then we'll wrap it up, and we'll try to do just a real detailed review, not so much a review but a comparison of the differences, because it's going to be actually a lot easier in some cases because there's so many things that are alike. But let's do it in a detailed review analysis right now of both of them, and then I'll get back with you and finish this up. All right, so you can see the home screens look the same. It's going to be a little challenging to actually do both of these at the same time. So if you hit on OK, now see, here's the difference where it says main on my left, send preset. On the right it says send message. And then it says there's presets also. So let's we'll arrow down, and there's start tracking. So there's one more thing here. So send presets on the Mini 2. It says send message first. There's new message. There's navigate on the right, and mark waypoint, contacts, service plan settings on the left with the Mini, navigate utilities setup. So they're similar, but they're a little bit different. So what we're going to do first is we are going to just go ahead and start tracking. Now I will let you know, and I was doing it in a different video, but I will let you know that they both have the same buttons, by the way. So return, that sends you back to the home page on both of them, right? I set these up to have the same settings on tracking. I think they're 1 second log, and they're a 2-minute send interval. And that's way too much for most people. You're going to wear your battery down if you do that. But so they're set up to do the same. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to start tracking. So on the Mini, on the orange, I arrow down one. Well, sorry, I hit the wrong button, went back. So I arrow down one to start tracking. Then on the Mini 2, the black one, I arrow down probably 2, so start tracking. So I am going to now start tracking on both of these, and right away, so now they're both tracking. They had some different things they showed. Sending points on the Mini 2, so showing I'm 0 feet and all that. So on the left on the Mini. So I'm going to start walking right now, and I'll show you the differences. Okay, so on the left you can see right away it's saying 14 feet, 1.1 miles per hour, and on the Mini 2 it's not showing anything right now. I'm not sure why. Let's go back to, well, see, it did say stop tracking, so it's working. There's nothing showing on the screen on the Mini 2, and then on the Mini it's showing 75 feet, 1.5 miles per hour. So that's what's going on right now on the Mini and the Mini 2. I'm going to look at a few things here to see if it'll show information. There's navigate. On that, the Mini 2 says navigate, mark waypoint, but I'm not going to hit any of those. But they're both tracking, so I'm not going to go very far, and then I'll stop tracking. So let me walk over here, and I'll show you here in a minute. I'll show you what it's like to track back. Okay, I haven't gone very far away. They're both tracking, but we're going to stop tracking now. So on the Mini, I'm going to hit back. See that, hit the OK, and it says stop tracking. So I'm going to stop tracking, select OK to start tracking, and then on the Mini 2 here, I'm going to stop tracking. Something different you're going to see here. It says back to start on the Mini 2, if you can see that. So that's really nice. So I'm just going to hit back to start. It's going to load the course. Now, when I want to do the, so I have, on the Mini, I think I have to do one thing that's different. I have to navigate. by waypoint routes or track back. See, now, so I'm gonna hit track back. Now it says 323 feet on the left, shows person walking. And then on my right screen, the Mini 2, it shows my arrow and the location. Now, one thing that's nice about this is I can pan and zoom on the Mini 2. So I'm gonna pan, get the plus and minus arrows, I'm gonna pan in, and right there you can see that. So now you can see the course a little bit better. Now I'm gonna turn around. Now on the Mini, it only shows, see on the Mini, it shows me the arrow 316 feet. On the Mini 2, see the Mini says 316, on the Mini it says 400 feet, and it shows I'm pointing directly left of the course. So when I walk back, and I'll show you what happens here, it's the Mini is just going to show me the distance. Now, it'd be nice if it gave me a visual and audible alert that I was off course, but I don't know that to be the case. So right now what I'm going to do, see, I'm pretty much on course on the Mini 2 on the right. I'm going to turn and I'm going to start walking off course. And when I start walking off course in just a few seconds or so, I mean 15, 30 seconds, Mini 2 will give me an audible and visual alert that I'm off course. Now on the Mini on the left, it's just showing the trail to the left. And I really am going to get lost here in a minute. Not really lost, I know where I'm at, but I'm going up through some trees. So you can see the Mini on the left saying 226 feet away, farther away, arrow's pointing back. On the right, the Mini 2, see, there you go, off course. See, the Mini 2 gave me the off course right there. I'm going to turn around and go back, and then see there, now it says on course. There's differences in the feet here. Before on the Mini, it just said the direction and how many feet. On the Mini 2, it shows the track or the trail that I came in, and it shows my arrow, so it gives you a lot more information, which is really nice. So this is a big feature that has been improved for the Mini 2. So I'm pretty much back on course now, 150, 109 feet away. I would say I'm probably 150 feet away, just from eyeballing here, 120 feet away. The Mini says 73 feet away, 110 for the Mini 2. I think the Mini 2 is more accurate. That could be another difference here. So now what I'm going to do when I get back here to my tripod, I'm going to stop tracking, and we're going to see about navigating by route, because I've set a route up out here that it's a Dawson's Butte Ranch open space trail, and I've set a route up, and so I'll see about following it. So now on the Mini, stop navigating. On the Mini 2, stop navigating. Now it says navigate, so back. So we're back at the home screen for both of these. So I hope you're able to see all that. Sometimes out here in the sun, it's a little more challenging. All right, so the next test we're going to do here, and I'm not going to get on the trail because we're not next to the trail, but we are going to see about navigating by route. So on the Mini on the left, I'm going to start, I don't want to start tracking here. I want to go to navigate. So I'm going to navigate, and it says waypoint routes. See, I want to go to routes now, and I don't want to do track back. Order searches. So see on the Mini, it's giving me all the maps. I've got a bunch of Colorado segment trails. Now they're in order, alphabetical order. So I'm going to arrow down here till I get to Dawson's Butte. Should be here. By the way, just to let you know, I have a subscription with the Mini 2 and not the Mini anymore, because that would cost me more money to have lots of subscriptions. So I can do the messaging and the weather and things like that with the Mini 2. But on the Mini, I could still do a lot of things. You just can't do I don't think you can do SOS. You can't do two-way messaging or weather. So just to let you know. And I did a video on that. You can see, well, there's Dawson's Butte right there. Okay, so there's Dawson's Butte. Now let's go to the Mini 2. So I'm going to go down to, well, it still says it's tracking. Now here's the thing where you can save it or discard. I'm gonna discard. The problem, see, I do so much testing out here in other places that you get too many tracks laying on top of each other. So you need to discard your tracks. This is something the Mini that I don't know does. The Mini 2 does it. And sometimes you don't just discard here only, but you have to get back on your map share page on the Garmin, and then you can discard activities, because sometimes I've discarded here but they're still there, but when I've discarded activities on the map share page, then it goes away. So I'm discarding. This is discarding, activity discarded. So now as soon as that message goes away, I'm going to navigate. So there's waypoints, track back, courses. Now see, the other one said routes, this said courses, I believe that's what it said. So there's all the I guess I've got a few different things in here. There's Colorado Trail right there. And again, we're going to go down to Dawson's Butte. There's like 28 or so Colorado trails. And then we're going to get down to Dawson. There's Dawson Butte. So we're going to hit navigate by both of these. And it says go. Stop navigating. I don't want to stop navigating. So see on the left, start tracking. Oh, sure, we'll start tracking too. So on the Mini 2 it said start tracking, and then on the Mini it says Dawson. It gives the name of it. On the Mini 2 it gives the name too. It says Dawson's Butte. It says 0.1 miles away, and then 0.7 miles away on the Mini. The Mini 2 says 0.1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start walking up here, because see the arrow says to go left with the Mini. Then on the right it has an arrow also. It doesn't show the route. Now what I'm going to try to do here real quick, what's nice about the Mini 2 is I can pan. All right, so I'm going to pan, I'm going to hit pan, and I'm going to go out. I'm showing my track right now. Oh, so see there, I hit it. I hit the course, and it says go, loading course. Before, evidently I did something, I didn't load the course. So now I'm tracking. I've done this, I've navigated by course before, and it worked really well. I'll put a link to that where I navigated with the Mini 2 by course. I'm having a little bit of issue right here for some reason. Could have slept wrong, maybe. Then here on it also lets you go on this, and then reverse course, view details. There's stop navigating, so it is navigating right now. The course is well, it's off to the left actually. I'm probably about 500 feet away from it. Well, so you can see some of the differences right there. It says 500 feet. Maybe that's to the course or how far I've tracked. Anyway, I've got some tracking, some navigating by routes on the Mini 2, and I'll post those. I'll show the links will be in the description below, and you can see more information about it. But so right here you can see the differences so far in the two. It just gives a lot more information on the Mini 2. Let's see about, there's got to be something else I can show you. I think I'm going to stop navigating on both of these, and what I'll do is I'm going to show you some information on what's on the screens, the differences between the two screens. I showed you a little bit already. I'm going to show you a little bit more. So on the Mini, we're going to stop navigating. It's just to hit the OK button, and then stop navigating, 2 buttons. If I want to stop navigating on the Mini 2, there it is, stop navigating, and still showing the screen or the tracks, because I think I'm tracking. So let me go down to tracking, see stop tracking. So there was 2 different things. So back to start, save, discard. I'm going to discard. So it says activity discard, so there's just more power. Now let's look at the differences between the screen a little bit more. So on from the main screen, when you hit OK, so send preset, start tracking, new message, waypoint, navigate, utility, setup. On the Mini 2, the first thing that's different is send message there, presets, start tracking, navigate, mark waypoint, contacts, IR service plan, or that'd be inReach Mini, settings. So there's a few different things on that first page. So if you want to, so on the Mini 2 it's called settings. So if you go to settings, you can change your tracking settings. Now on the Mini it's called setup. And so I want to go down and I'm going to look at tracking. So on the Mini we do tracking, and we've got the 2-minute interval, log intervals 1 second, auto track off, and then EXT tracking off. I don't know what the EXT tracking is. I will look that up. And if I find it, I'll put it on the screen to let you know. Then on the Mini 2 on the right here, it's tracking, and you got sounds, map, phone, inReach remote, system. We'll see what system, because there's no system here on the Mini. Let's see what system says. So there's display. So display before was right at the top. Back, you go back one page here. Display was right there. So display now is under, what was that, system. So under system you got display, compass, calibration, time, units, GPS, language, keyboard languages, owner information, USB mode, screenshots, export to GPX, reset device, software update, about. All right, so now let's go see, there's maybe some of this information is on, so wait, there's display, tracking, Bluetooth, ANT plus, messages, sounds, time, units, language, owner information about this device, recovery. Let me look through this a bit more. I'm going to back up here a second. So when you go into this, you got send, and I'm talking about the Mini right here. You got send preset, start tracking, new message, waypoint, navigate, utilities. What's under utilities? Test service, contacts, data use. Let's back up here on the Mini 2. So we've got send message, preset, start tracking, navigate, mark waypoint, contacts. Contacts are right here on this one. So they're actually just a lot of they've moved things around. Now there's a map there. We're gonna go take a look at that map, and here's systems. That was display, compass. We already looked at that. Let's go look at the map real quick. Waypoints hide, track points show, messages, orientation. Now this is one thing that I always have track up, not north, because when you have north, it's all your trail's always moving on you, and it's always showing north. I always want track up, because when I'm navigating or tracking back, wherever I point my antenna, which is my pointer for me, that shows where I'm at in relationship to the trail. So say the trail's to my right or straight ahead. If I move, it'll point to the trail. When I move to the left and I point at my dog, which is not the trail, then it'll show the trail to the right. And that's what I want to see, is wherever I'm pointing, I want to know, well, hey, oh, no, now the trail is behind me. So it's up to you, it's your preferences. But so you could see right there, there's quite a bit of difference here in the two. And I mean, differences in the menu, but it's not a big deal. You're just going to get used to it, check it out. And there's a phone. What's on the phone? Status, waiting for phone. Pair phone. Okay, I don't have my phone paired right now. Normally I use it, but I really wanted to just show you the differences on the screen. What I will do here, I'm going to put both these up on my strap, and I'm going to show you what each of these look like on the phone. All right, so here's my phone, and we got to make sure that, so here's the app. I don't know if you can see it that well. I'll have to take some screenshots, which I'll do as I go through here. So on the Mini, use the Earthmate app. So right here, first of all, you can see this is Dawson's Butte Trail, the whole thing. Then when you zoom in, I've got some different waypoints here. And then you can zoom in where I'm at right now. I'm off in an open area. I thought it'd be all by myself, but some people showed up to take photos. So, you know, hey, it's a public space, no big deal. And so you can see there's my arrow, there's where I'm at. Down at the bottom, there's a compass. So you can see the compass here. Looks like a digital compass to me. So the map is on the left, and you have messages on the right. Not on the right, the next one to the right. Then you have tracking, which that does is shows the tracks that were laid down just a few minutes ago. Then there's the compass. Then there's more. So on more, there's waypoints, routes, history, weather, SOS, my inReach, options, contacts. So when I go to contacts, there's no Earthmate contacts. That's probably because I haven't put any in, and the Earthmate contacts probably and is other contacts like so Mike, my buddy from Mike and Rick Outdoors, he's got a Montana 750i. So if he has an inReach email, so that's maybe where that comes from. Possibly, but we'll check the other one. But Contacts, messaging. So in messaging, if I go to messaging here and I want to send a message, it won't send a message because I don't have the subscription active on this. So there is the Earthmate app with the Mini. Now when I jump into the Explorer, the one thing I always want to do for these is, before I typically jump into it, I'll check my settings and I'll check the Bluetooth. And where's the Mini 2? Yeah, Mini 2 right there, says it's connected, so we're all good. And then I'm going to get back out, I'm going to go into Explorer. Now here's the same map. It's the Dawson's Butte Ranch Open Space Trail. Now when I zoom in over here, you can see there's different things. Like there was a message, or I sent a message early on, not early on, a while back, at the trailhead. But here you can see my location, and there's the route, the blue route right there. Plus it shows the trail. Now at the bottom of the screen, like I said, there's some different things here. You can change the map. You can also do this on the Mini, but you can change it to an aerial map. So if I click on active topo and then I go to satellite topography, then you would see the aerial or the satellite image. So I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to go click on maps. I'm going to go topo active, I believe is what I was on. So down next to, there's a library at the bottom. On that library, it says activities, waypoints, routes, courses. This kind of gets to one thing, is that it gives you more information on your routes and tracks. So you can, like activities right here, if I wanted to go in here, there's no activities, so there's nothing to delete. But there's in these routes, all these routes right here. A little bit nicer. I've got devices, so you can see my GPS 66i is on there, my inReach Mini 2 is on there. I should really add my Mini because I'm going to add my Mini so it'll show up and I could switch back and forth between all of these. I don't have to have more than one subscription, but I can only use the SOS and the two-way messaging weather for one at a time. And you can see right here, the Mini 2, it's got weather tracking, SOS. Those are the main things you get when you have the subscription. There's a blue dot on that. And then they got unsupported devices, which is the SE Plus and the Mini. I'm not sure why those are, they're unsupported. They use the Earthmate app, not the Explorer app. All right, so then the last thing is account. So there's Explorer contacts, map share, privacy policy, license. So if I go into contacts, then it's, okay, what this is right here, Explorer contacts. These are people that I specifically want to send information to. Maybe I'm doing a map share, maybe I'm letting them know where I want to let them know where I'm at if I have an emergency or something. They're in a different group of contacts. That is really just most of the differences between these two. And I could jump into each, probably each one of those sections and the settings and the setup and all the differences. But I'm not going to do that. I think you've seen enough to know the differences. So let's do a wrap up real quick, a final thoughts, and then we'll be done. You guys can go on your way and not be listening to me anymore. These both, I love them. If you can get the Mini right now and you're tight on money, you can get this for about $320, maybe $350. I've seen it just yesterday for like $319. And the Mini 2's, I think, more about $450. I will put that up on the screen for you. The Mini is very powerful by itself. Yes, it's the older model, but it is extremely powerful. It's just a great device. Even before the Mini 2 came out, the Mini was my favorite satellite messenger. And again, it's really because of convenience, how small it is, having it synced to my cell phone, how I use the satellite messenger. If I were going out on long hikes, multi-day, maybe week-long, 4 or 5 days, I would switch over to the GPS map 66i or the Explorer Plus because it has everything on it. You don't have to worry about it being synced. When you're out and about, and you don't want to worry about technology, because what happens when something happens and your phone doesn't sync to the satellite messenger? Okay, now you can still do a lot with these two, but it's a bit of a pain. What I do though is I'm more day hikes, fishing, hunting, camping. So I'm near my vehicle, I'm near the tent, or I'm in an area where something happens, I can get back and change something real quick. This is just how I use it. That's why because of the convenience and how small it is, but it's also how I use it. That's why it's my favorite. The Mini 2 came out right away. You could see just from reading the information about it, it was going to be more powerful. You know, we all knew that. But having that on-screen information, when you're tracking and you can see your track, and it'll give you distance off course. You might be 50 feet off course, 20 feet off course. Honestly, there can be times when that's really important. If you're, you know, maybe you're in a snowstorm, maybe you're out at night and you're here in Colorado and there's cliffs and rivers and whatever, you might want to know how close you are to the course. Having that track back and even on the navigating, when it tells you you're off course, and it gives you a little X, I think, or in the middle of the off course, and then it tells you when you're on course. I love that. Just that little screen and showing that information is great. So those really are the, oh, well, of course, now the battery life. The battery life is a lot longer. And so it's, you could say there's not a lot of difference, but there's a few incredibly functional, powerful things about the Mini 2 that hands down, it's my favorite satellite messenger. It is what I carry with me all the time. That's really all there is to say. If you've got comments or questions, I will come back out here and I'll do a field test. If I don't know your answer, instead of calling Garmin, I will come out here, do the field test with a video, and I'll edit the video, I'll put it up, and then I'll let you know it's up. In the comment, I'll put the link to it, so you can see exactly what it does or doesn't do, so you're not just taking my word for it. So please like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, leave a comment, ask a question, because I always do my best to answer within 24 hours and preferably less. There's been a few times I've got off track and I've seen a message that was a week or 2 weeks old, something. I'm like, oh my goodness, sorry about that. If that was you, sorry. I always will answer your question. If I don't know the answer and I can't figure it out from a field test, I'll contact Garmin, talk to them, figure it out, and then I'll still come back and answer your question. So it's been great talking to you today. Hopefully this video is not too long, but I really hope you got something out of it. Mini 2, if you get a chance, you got enough money, you got an extra $100, by far, go get it. And the Mini, if you want to save money, you're not going to go wrong with the Mini. There's just so many satellite messengers, and if you want to know which one's best for you, I'm not going to tell you right away that, hey, the Mini 2 is by far the best for you, go get it. I'm going to ask you questions. Is communication the most important? Is a long battery life more important? Is on-screen maps and not having sync to your phone more important? How do you use it? Do you go on long adventures, expeditions? How do you use your messenger? And then I'll try to help you, direct you to the right messenger. Long video. Hope you liked it though. Thanks for joining me here in Colorado on Hiking Emergency Beacon.